Now, we know talks are ongoing between Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen about a...
Virgil van Dijk, the towering Dutch defender and Liverpool captain, is widely regarded as one of the most influential leaders in modern football. Known not just for his commanding presence on the pitch but also for his dignified demeanor off it, Van Dijk has embraced his leadership role with grace. As Liverpool Football Club enters a new era with fresh talent arriving, Van Dijk has been instrumental in ensuring that new players feel welcomed and integrated into the team. One such player receiving this warm welcome is Florian Wirtz, the immensely talented German midfielder who has recently joined Liverpool. Wirtz's arrival at the AXA training centre marks a new chapter in his career, as he makes the leap from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. At just 22 years of age, Wirtz carries a reputation as one of Europe's most promising playmakers. Van Dijk, understanding the weight of transition and adaptation, made sure that Wirtz's first moments at the training center were memorable. Greeting him with a firm handshake and a smile, the Dutchman made it clear that Wirtz was not just another transfer, but a vital addition to Liverpool's ongoing evolution. The AXA training center buzzed with activity as players returned for pre-season, and the arrival of Wirtz added a new layer of excitement. Van Dijk, often the voice in the locker room, took it upon himself to show Wirtz around the state-of-the-art facility, sharing insights about the club's routines, the training culture, and the spirit that binds the team. As they strolled through the modern corridors of the AXA Center, Van Dijk pointed out the various departments, from physiotherapy rooms to tactical meeting areas, making Wirtz feel at home in a place that would now be central to his football journey. The camaraderie between players is a cornerstone of Liverpool's recent success, and Van Dijk embodies that spirit. With Wirtz walking beside him, the veteran defender made sure to introduce him to staff members, from coaches to fitness trainers, reinforcing a sense of unity and belonging. On the training pitch, Wirtz was quick to show glimpses of his brilliance. A deft touch here, a visionary pass there. It didn't take long for teammates to see why Liverpool had invested heavily in the German maestro. Van Dijk, watching closely, was among the first to applaud the youngster's efforts. During training drills, Van Dijk frequently offered Wirtz encouragement and tactical tips, ensuring the new midfielder could adapt quickly to Jurgen Klopp's high-pressing, fast transition system. The mutual respect between the two was evident, even in those early sessions. Van Dijk's influence isn't limited to football tactics, he also emphasizes mentality. In conversations on the sidelines and in the dressing room, he spoke to Wirtz about the importance of resilience, especially when adjusting to a new league with different demands and physicality. The leadership Van Dijk exhibits sets the tone for the rest of the squad. His warm welcome of Wirtz set an example, prompting others like Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson Becker, and Mohamed Salah to engage openly with their new teammate, fostering a familial atmosphere. Wirtz, known for his humble nature and hard-working ethic, responded positively to the warm reception. In interviews following his first training day, he praised Van Dijk's support and highlighted how it helped ease his transition into the squad. For Van Dijk, nurturing new talent is as critical as commanding the backline. He knows that Liverpool's future success depends not just on current form but on building a cohesive unit that evolves with fresh energy and ideas. Wirtz represents that energy, a bridge between the current core and the emerging generation. There is something symbolic about the veteran defender welcoming the young attacking midfielder. It's a passing of wisdom from one football era to another, where experience meets youthful ambition. Van Dijk, in many ways, becomes a mentor figure, guiding Wirtz not just with his words but with his actions. The AXA training center has become a crucible for transformation, where players develop both technically and mentally. With Van Dijk's influence, Wirtz finds himself in an environment that values growth and collective purpose. Van Dijk's leadership was evident during their first small-sided game, where he encouraged Wirtz after a misplaced pass and later congratulated him for an exquisite through ball that led to a goal. It's this balance of accountability and affirmation that defines his captaincy. Even off the pitch, Van Dijk took the time to ensure Wirtz settled in. He invited the German international to join a team dinner organized for new arrivals, where laughter and storytelling helped break the ice and build bonds beyond football. Wirtz's transition to Liverpool is expected to be smoother thanks to Van Dijk's proactive mentorship. The Dutch defender knows how crucial early impressions can be and has made sure that Wirtz feels valued from day one. As a leader, Van Dijk understands that welcoming a new player goes beyond handshakes and introductions. It's about inclusion, making sure the newcomer is heard, seen, and trusted. He makes room for Wirtz, not just on the field, but within the group's collective identity. Over the following days, fans began noticing the growing chemistry between Wirtz and his teammates. Videos from training showed moments of interaction, a joke shared with Cody Gakpo, a high five from Robertson, all signs of a player integrating seamlessly. Van Dijk remained a steady presence throughout, frequently chatting with Wirtz about the pace of the Premier League, the expectations from Klopp, and the traditions of the club. These talks, informal yet insightful, became a foundation for Wirtz's adjustment. There's an undeniable buzz around Wirtz's arrival, but Van Dijk's calm demeanor keeps things grounded. He reminds the squad, and perhaps Wirtz himself, that while talent is exciting, what matters most is consistency, teamwork, and discipline. During a closed training session, Wirtz managed to score a stunning goal from the edge of the box. The first to congratulate him with a pat on the back and a smile was Van Dijk, who nodded as if to say, "You're in the right place." That gesture, simple yet meaningful, encapsulates Van Dijk's role as a guardian of Liverpool's ethos. He welcomes new players not just to the squad, but into a culture built on hard work, unity, and belief. Wirtz has much to offer Liverpool. His creativity, vision, and technical brilliance will add a new dimension to the team's midfield. But his success will be magnified by the support system he has found, with Van Dijk at its core. The training sessions continue, and each day sees Wirtz growing more confident, more expressive. Van Dijk's guidance remains constant, a reassuring presence both on and off the field. The Dutch defender knows that leadership is not about commanding others but about empowering them. In Wirtz, he sees potential that must be nurtured, not merely managed. As pre-season progresses, the duo has been seen collaborating in team drills, sharing advice, and even exchanging light-hearted banter, signs of a budding professional camaraderie. Van Dijk has experienced the challenges of adapting to a new club and league. His empathy comes from lived experience, making his support for Wirtz authentic and impactful. The AXA Training Centre has witnessed many great Liverpool careers take shape. In Wirtz, there's hope for another, and Van Dijk's embrace of the young midfielder will be remembered as a key part of that journey. There's no substitute for experience, and Van Dijk is offering his generously. His influence will shape how Wirtz learns, performs, and matures in a red shirt. It's not lost on fans that this is more than a welcome, it's a symbolic moment of transition. Van Dijk, a leader of Liverpool's golden period, helping usher in the next generation. Wirtz is not just arriving at a new club, he is stepping into a legacy. And Van Dijk, with his characteristic calm and class, ensures that the young German knows exactly what it means to wear the badge. Through words of encouragement, on-pitch guidance, and daily interactions, Van Dijk continues to build a culture where players don't just coexist but thrive together. In welcoming Florian Wirtz, Virgil van Dijk has once again proven that leadership isn't confined to match days. It's in the everyday moments, the silent mentorship, and the quiet reassurance that shapes a player's path. For Wirtz, the journey at Liverpool has just begun. With Van Dijk by his side, it's a journey that promises not only growth but greatness. The story of Van Dijk and Wirtz at the AXA Training Centre is more than just a welcome, it's a glimpse into the values of a club that builds not just players, but people. And in that shared space of ambition and unity, Liverpool's future continues to take shape, one welcome, one handshake, one connection at a time.